Morning, it's Hazel Jarvis, it's Art Online, and today we are going to do quite literally a profile of Matisse. And here is our inspiration, Matisse at work in his studio. I make a rough drawing just to explore the idea, and a very quick colour sketch. We're going to do this illustration in pencil and in watercolor, and we're going to do Matisse in profile because this allows us to explore the charm of this particular pose. And pencil and watercolor are a great combination because you can get the detail in pencil and large blocks of color in watercolor. I love the idea of depicting Matisse actually at work in his studio, and there are many, many images of him actually at work. Drawing someone in profile is often easier than drawing somebody head on, and it certainly allows you to capture more of their shape. So once we have our pencil drawing complete, I mix up a flesh color, which is yellow ochre, which is 44, and a pink, 32. And I'm going to paint in Matisse's hands, and I'm going to paint in his face. And I'll just paint around the glasses. We'll give him a little bit of neck. And in this picture, he's basically wearing sandals, so we'll paint in his feet too. I'm just going to erase and redraw this arm, just very lightly. And please note, I've drawn much darker than I would do normally, just so that you can see. So just bear that in mind and press lightly with your pencil. We're going to start by being very bold, so we're going to paint in Matisse's trousers in black, or black and grey. So in go Matisse's trousers. Well, I still have the black, and because Matisse was French, we're going to make his shoes espadrilles. I'm going to just pencil in some details on his shirt, some crinkles around the elbow, the cuff, the collar. So he's going to look like that. And with my pencil, I'm also going to define his glasses. And put them behind his ears. I want my Matisse to have a slightly larger nose too, so I'm just going to round out the nose just a little bit. This is a painting of Matisse post-war, so we can only assume that the colours of his clothes are a little bit dingy and a little bit drab. So I'm going to make his waistcoat kind of a yellow ochre. And we'll just paint around the hand on the hip. So this is a portrait of Matisse, a drawing, and he used to have a piece of charcoal taped or stuck onto a length of bamboo so that he could stand back and draw large. I'm going to use my pencil for the details on Matisse's face. So I'm going to put the hair in with the pencil. And I'm going to put his beard in. and his moustache and his beard, I should say. And we're going to put in the inevitable cigarette. And we'll just draw the eyes in behind the glasses. Firm up his profile. So now we have a picture of Matisse, and he's summoned up very quickly just in a little bit of pencil work and some line work. And in contrast to the drawing, or in contrast to the painting of the figure, we're now going to go really wild with our background. So I'm looking at some of his gouache cutouts, which I absolutely love, and that's what we're going to put on the back of the studio. But we'll be pretty free in our interpretation of them. So I load up my big brush, my sort of 6 or 8 with number 43, this bright yellow, and we're just going to paint in some organic forms around the head of Matisse, which might sort of reference some of his cutouts. We'll take a bright red, 30 mixed with 31, and put more of these organic shapes on. And I'm sort of thinking vaguely kind of leaf shapes. But you don't want them too precise. And we'll put a little bit of this leftover snipped out paper on the floor as well. Next we'll grab some bright blue, 61. Matisse was not afraid to define space with black lines, so we're going to draw in the walls. So I turn my page sideways and I draw in a line to mark the corner of the room, and then I'm going to draw in a line to mark where the wall meets the floor. While I have the black on my brush, just to cement the idea that these are the decoupage, the cut patterns, I'm going to put in a large pair of scissors on the floor. I think this red looks a bit too much like a cap, so I'm just going to bring it down and round, just so it looks less like a little beret. With black still on our brush, and you want to use a nice long brush with a beautiful point, we're going to do some curvy lines to suggest perhaps he's thinking about drawing one of his women. So we'll do an oval face, and we'll do some curves. Nothing too representational, something nice and abstract, and a little bit of pattern. And finally, we will finish with the buttons on his cardigan and your stylized portrait of Matisse, your homage to Matisse in watercolor and pencil is done, or almost done. Since I can't resist fiddling, I'm going to just make the reds a tiny bit stronger. I hope you've enjoyed this watercolor sketch. Watercolor and pencil is a great combination, and it's really fun to do someone in profile. So I can't wait to see what you do.